Good morning, everyone. Rick from Mozart Living Homestead. July the 29th, if I'm not mistaken. It's a Friday. And it's, so you want to know number 7, I think it is. It'll be on the video. But anyway, got a question, comment and question from D. Ralph. Basically, and I wrote it down because my memory is terrible lately. What was the biggest thing I have learned, or what was the biggest shock that I was not prepared for? To start off with, probably the biggest thing I've learned, I'm not 25 years old anymore. I can't move like I used to. I don't have the energy like I used to. Still have the drive, and that's part of my problem is I think I'm 25, and in fact, and this is no joke, my wife is constantly reminding me and making me remember that I am not 25 anymore, because I try to do things that I used to do when I was 25. Like building a house by myself and doing anything. But do I regret it? No, not one bit. I get frustrated sometimes, I get a little burnout sometimes, but in the long run, it's all going to work out, and we're really going to enjoy it. Let's see, I'm just trying to think of anything. The thing is, there's not a lot I've learned. I mean, I've learned a lot of little things about different animals and not really so much growing anything yet because I haven't started a garden. But I really researched this. I mean, I have honestly researched a lot of this stuff before I came here. Now, the only thing that I didn't know when I came here, and I really didn't check into that enough, and luckily it worked out for me, and a lot of people it may not, is that there are no building codes here. And it actually worked out great for me because I don't have to go through all the red tape with the politicians and all this crap to, to build what I want. I kind of, the property, like I said, I already had a well and septic. So it was pretty much set up. In fact, I found out a few months ago, and I didn't know this, there are actually 2 other wells on this property. One I knew of, and they're shallow wells. The other one, I still have not found out where it's at. So apparently it's here somewhere, buried, I don't know, but they said they're shallow wells. They just weren't good wells, but they would be good for gardens or something like that. But and I'll show the one that I know later. As far as shock, there really hasn't been any. I mean, and when I say this honestly, and I think some of you know, and I've mentioned this before, I don't rehearse what I do. I mean, I kind of plan some of my videos, well, most of my videos I plan, but I don't rehearse anything. I'm not reading off a script. Some of the channels, and I'm not putting anybody down, they're doing great, and they're doing their own thing, their own way. But they just seem so commercialized, like watching reality TV. And I've said before, to me, this is my reality. This is real. I mean, this is probably as real as you get. I don't have anybody standing behind me or on the other side of the camera holding up cards for me to say this or or that and talk about these things. This is what I do. And this is everything that I do. But Lee, come back in about 6 months, maybe a year, and ask me these questions again, because I'm sure something's going to come up. And hopefully it's not going to be anything bad. And that's part of the series that I'm doing, is trying to prepare people that think about doing this. And again, I'm not trying to discourage anyone from doing this. I'm actually trying to encourage people to do it, if all possible, but they need to prepare for a lot of these things. Now again, that's me and my wife now. There's where, I'm not gonna say problems are gonna come in, but there's where the big adjustment's gonna come in. My wife's a sweet lady, she's a hard worker, she doesn't mind getting her hands dirty and getting in the mud or doing whatever it takes to get things done. But she has a weakness for animals. And I told her I'd butcher some rabbits, and I've been eating some of the rabbit meat. Well, she says, she said, I know you were gonna do that, I know you raised them. And she had always told me, as long as I don't have to see you do it, I can cook it or eat it. Well, she told me the other day, when I told her I'd already butchered some and been eating them, she told me that she didn't think she could handle that, or she didn't think she could do it, knowing that we had them here. I think she can. It's just going to take a little bit to get her over it. But I honestly think she can. I mean, because she knows where it comes from. I mean, she's not a dummy. She knows where food comes from. But she just has this thing for animals. She has a weakness for animals. And I joke with her all the time, and she actually agrees that she cares more about animals than she does me. And she'll speak up real fast and say, yep, I sure do. She said, because they give me unconditional love. So, but anyway, she loves animals, and she has a hard time. She gets attached, and that's her biggest problem. She cannot not get attached. So it's very hard with her. So, but anyway, like I said, the only thing is that I know I'm not 25. I'm way past 25. But in my mind, I think I still have the energy and everything to do what I could when I was 25. I'm not 25 anymore. I'm slowing down a lot. But I keep pushing myself. And I have to keep pushing myself, and I always will push myself. It's just my nature, it's just me. I can't sit still too long. I can sit and rest, I can take a nap, but I gotta get up and I gotta get moving. It drives me crazy sometimes in that camper. Now that's one of the things, maybe a little shock, not much. I wasn't planning on spending the winter in there. It happened, you know, and like I said, you know, I broke my foot and my lower leg, fractured, brother, but bad fractures, to where I was in a cast. And when I first got started, that's when it happened, and so I had to go back to Florida, and I wasn't able to get anything done here, and I'd already started, and for quite a few months, I had lumber just sitting out there in the yard, covered up, of course, and then when I got back here, it was the wrong time of the year. It was hot. My leg still, to this day, bothers me, my foot and my leg. You know, it healed, but it's just my age. It still bothers me at times. But that kind of put me behind, and I wasn't prepared for that. I had of course, I never thought that I would get hurt. And that's another thing, you know, people need to realize sometimes those things hurt, and you're gonna go down, you know. But that was probably the biggest shock, or anything, you know, that I was not prepared for. I thought I could just come up here, build this place, and move in, and you know, me and the wife, and enjoy life, and I knew it was going to take a while. I knew I was not going to do it overnight. But again, and I am not going to say it's more than what I thought, because I knew it was going to be some hard work, and I knew it was going to take time. But again, I keep thinking I'm only 25 years old, that I have the energy of a 25-year-old, when I know I don't. But I try, and I think I can push myself. I always think I can keep pushing myself, you know, to get things done. And I do. I get them done eventually. They just take longer nowadays. So, anyway, Lee, ask me again in 6 months or a year. I'm sure something's going to pop up. Other than that, like I said, and that's what I'm doing in this series, is people need to prepare. They honestly need to do every bit of research they can, and they need to think about everything, from grocery shopping to raising animals to medical, how they're going to heat them. I mean, everything. You have to figure in everything, how it's going to affect your life. And then there's still going to be things that you're going to miss or you're going to forget. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but there are things that we're going to adjust to. With that being said, and I hate to say it, I mean, I'm not perfect by far, but I honestly really researched this. I knew what I was getting into. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. Didn't think it would be as hard as it is or take as long, because again, going back, I think 25 years old, I had the energy, which I don't. So guys, really research this. I mean, if you're really serious about it, don't just jump into this. There's a lot to think about. Some of the YouTube channels are great channels. But don't believe everything you see on these YouTube channels. They make it look like it's all gravy. It's not all gravy. And they know it. But I think they're doing it for subscribers or whatever to make it look like, oh, it's no big deal. Everything's fine. There's a lot of hardships that they're not letting people know. So far, I haven't run into any. And again, I don't tell everything in my personal life, because I do have a personal life and I want to keep it a private, personal life. So I'm not going to go out there and just put our whole lives out there in front of everybody, but pretty much there's nothing really bad happened, you know. But some of these channels, they just make it look like, oh, just roses. I mean, you know, everything's fine, everything's good, no problems. But there's more to it. There's more behind it than that. And again, I'm not putting anybody's channel down. I like a lot of the great channels. There's only a couple that I don't care for. And because I don't care for them, I don't subscribe to them and I don't comment on their channels. I don't agree, you know. There's been a couple that I've made comments on. The person, one, didn't agree, and I honestly could feel that person's hands coming through the monitor on my computer choking me. I mean, the person, and it was just a plain, simple comment that I made of something that they were doing wrong. I was trying to let them know they were doing it wrong in a nice way. And anyway, I'm gonna get off of that, but that's not what this was about. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna get off of here. I got another video already made, but I'm not gonna put it out yet. It's the one I'm gonna give away, and it's for some knives. I've already got it made. I'll probably put it out in the next couple of days because I don't want to put out all these videos at one time. So you guys kind of keep an eye out for that. And I went to a sale last night, auction, to one of my bucks, and sold him. And I came back with a puppy. It's a LGD, large guard dog, but he's about 3.5 months old. Anyway, guys, I'm going to do a video on that today, and I'll see what I can get that out. It's something we needed to put with the goats because the coyotes are getting really bad around here. And again, I'll do another video on that because they're actually coming in at broad daylight now and snatching chickens. So, all right, guys, as always, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe if you like the videos. And of course, always comment if you can, and give us a big thumbs up. All right, you guys have a great day.